All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into a YouTube video
Okay.
titled How She Stopped Struggling in Dropshipping. And it's this really interesting interview
Mm-hmm.
with a woman who kind of goes through all of the motions of starting with dropshipping,
Mm-hmm.
having, really tough times, and then ending up at a much better place.
Yeah, it's like the classic entrepreneur story, right?
Totally.
Where it's like, oh, this looks great. Let me jump in. And then it's like, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she starts the interview
Yeah.
talking about how she, went all in on the whole learning through YouTube thing.
Right, right.
Which we all do, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And but she spent like 10 grand on a website and marketing
Wow.
and no sales.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, and she's just kind of like, what am I doing wrong?
Well, and that's where so many people, I think, hit that wall with dropshipping.
Yeah,
Because it's so easy to get caught up in the hype.
totally.
Like work from anywhere, be a millionaire, all
Yeah.
this stuff. But in reality, you're a middleman. You're selling products you don't actually have.
Yeah,
And it's super competitive.
super competitive.
Yeah.
And when you're first starting out, you don't know like where to find a good supplier or how to do the marketing right, or
Right.
even like what to sell.
Yeah, exactly. And how to stand out from all the noise.
Yeah.
And that's where she kind of has this turning point where
Yeah.
she ends up finding this online community.
Okay.
And it's not just like any Facebook group or forum.
Right.
This one is super focused on building a profitable dropshipping business.
Okay.
And it's taught by people who've actually done it.
Got it.
So think like step-by-step guides to find winning products,
Mhm.
setting up ads that actually convert.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff that's usually hidden behind like expensive courses or vague gurus.
Right. Yeah. Like were those YouTube tutorials that she was watching originally leading her to buy a bunch of courses or anything?
Yeah, she was definitely going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is she actually talks about how this community was way more affordable
Okay. Yeah.
than all the other stuff that she had seen.
Interesting.
Plus, she really emphasizes the support.
Yep.
Like the camaraderie, the feeling of like, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
They even had a cruise where she got to meet everybody in person.
We had a cruise.
Yeah, a cruise.
What? So what was that, like a business thing or just like a fun?
Well, it was both.
Okay.
She talked about how it really solidified the community aspects, like
Mhm.
being surrounded by people who get it.
Yeah.
But they also had workshops on the cruise, like deep dives into specific strategies
Okay.
and even one-on-one coaching sessions.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was like a business retreat / vacation.
Smart.
Yeah,
But then she ends up closing her dropshipping store.
she does.
Wow.
Well, this is where things get even more interesting because through this community, she discovers a totally different online business model,
Okay.
something she calls digital real estate.
Digital real estate. I
Yeah.
don't even know what that is.
I know it sounds kind of out there, but it's basically about creating and selling online assets.
Like what?
So think websites, online courses, membership communities, things like that.
Okay.
Basically stuff that generates income online without needing physical products.
Okay, so why the switch?
Well, she spills the tea and says that this new model
Yeah.
let her use the skills she'd already developed,
Yeah.
like, marketing, understanding online audiences,
Right.
but without the headache of inventory suppliers, customer service, all that stuff that comes with dropshipping.
Okay, I see. So less of that middleman stuff.
Exactly.
So did she say how much money she was making?
She doesn't give specific numbers, but she does say she's now the CEO of her own PTO.
CEO of her own PTO. I love that.
Right. It basically means she's got that time freedom and flexibility that drew her to online business in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what about her like 9-to-5 life before all this? Did she talk about that at all?
Oh, yeah. She goes into her backstory a bit and talks about spending 40 years in corporate America.
40 years.
Wow. Yeah, she saw people climbing the ladder, getting promotions, but she felt stuck.
Oh, I bet that was tough. Especially after putting in that much time.
Yeah, and then comes a big turning point. Her company gets sold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the new owner took 9 weeks to even contact her.
9 weeks.
Yeah, 9 weeks of limbo. And it's during that time that she throws herself into launching her dropshipping business.
Wow, talk about turning uncertainty into action.
Right. It's like she was forced to create her own opportunity.
Yeah, and after 40 years in the corporate world, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's never too late to make a change.
Exactly. And it sounds like that change wasn't just about her career. She mentions being able to be more present for her daughter and never having to worry about PTO again.
Right. It impacted her whole life.
Yeah, that work-life balance is what it's all about.
It's a huge motivator, and it sounds like it was a big factor in her decision to switch to this digital real estate model.
Okay, so back to the cruise for a sec. She mentioned it wasn't just about workshops and stuff, right?
The community aspect was huge for her.
Okay, but what was it about those connections that really stood out to her?
She talked about the genuine support and the feeling of, we're all in this together.
Yeah,
Like, imagine being surrounded by people who understand the ups and downs of building a business,
right.
who celebrate your wins and offer advice when you hit a roadblock.
Yeah, that's got to be a nice change from the corporate world.
It's a total game changer, and it really shows how important it is to find your tribe.
You people.
Exactly, the ones who get you and support your journey.
For sure. But speaking of journeys, remember how she was initially hesitant about creating videos?
Oh yeah, that's a common one.
Totally. Putting yourself out there can be scary.
It is, but then she drops this awesome line, do it scared.
Do it scared.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but so powerful.
Right, it's like you don't have to wait for the fear to go away, you just got to take action.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's where you can really hear her confidence in the interview.
Hmm.
She's not just talking about overcoming fear. She's seeing the progress.
Yeah.
She even says, my videos have evolved so much. It's such a good feeling.
It is a good feeling, and it's not just about the videos themselves.
Right.
It's what they represent, her growth, her willingness to put herself out there.
And the proof that she's come a long way.
Exactly. But you know what's really cool about her whole story?
What's that?
It's how she focuses on both the practical stuff of building a business
Yeah.
and the personal transformation that comes with it.
I like that.
The confidence, the self-discovery,
Yeah.
the realization that those 40 years in corporate America weren't wasted.
It's like those years were setting her up for this.
Exactly. And now she's taking everything she learned and building something amazing.
So where does she go from here?
Well, that's a story for part 2.
Oh, you're going to leave us hanging?
I know, but trust me, it's worth the wait.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
But you better deliver.
I promise.
Okay, so stay tuned, everyone, because we're about to unpack how this woman's entrepreneurial spirit goes way beyond just making money.
It's about making a difference.
Exactly. And we'll be right back after a quick break. All right, so we left off with this whole digital real estate thing.
Right.
And I got to be honest, I'm still a little fuzzy on what exactly that means.
Yeah, it's kind of a new concept for a lot of people.
So break it down for me. What kind of online assets are we talking about here?
Okay, so think like websites, online courses,
Mhm.
membership communities,
Mm-hmm.
stuff that makes money online without you needing to have physical products or deal with shipping.
Okay, so it's like virtual real estate.
Yeah, exactly. You're building these online properties that can generate income 24/7.
Okay, I see. But she's not just like throwing up any old website or course.
Oh, no, definitely not. There's a strategy involved.
So what's the secret sauce? How do you make these digital assets actually profitable?
Well, she talks about focusing on niche topics,
Mhm.
figuring out what people are searching for online, and then creating really high-quality content that answers their questions or solves their problems.
So it's like being a smart real estate developer, but in the digital world.
Exactly. You got to know where to build and what to build.
Right. So instead of like brick and mortar stores, she's building these online hubs where people can find the information they need.
Yeah, and potentially learn new skills.
Okay, but what about the money part?
Hmm.
How does she actually monetize these digital assets?
Well, she mentions a few things. For websites, she talks about affiliate marketing,
Mm-hmm.
which is where you recommend products or services and get a commission on sales.
Okay,
And then there's ad revenue from displaying ads on your site.
right.
And for online courses, it's pretty straightforward. You create it once and then sell it over and over again.
Passive income. I like it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It's like building a product that keeps working for you even when you're sleeping.
Okay, so it sounds pretty awesome, but I'm sure there were some challenges along the way, right?
Mhm.
It wasn't all smooth sailing once she ditched dropshipping.
Well, she does mention that there was definitely a learning curve,
Okay,
especially with the technical side of building websites and online courses.
right?
And then there's the whole keeping up with the online world, which is always changing.
Yeah, so even though this new model fit her lifestyle better, there were still obstacles to overcome.
Yeah, I think that's a good reminder that entrepreneurship, no matter what path you choose, is going to have its ups and downs.
Totally. But it sounds like that community she joined was a big help.
Oh, yeah. She talks about how they had specific training modules and resources focused on digital real estate,
Okay.
and she was able to connect with mentors who are already crushing it in that space.
So it's like having a built-in support system.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes me think about how important it is to surround yourself with people who not only get what you're doing, but are also trying to achieve similar things.
It's huge. It's the difference between feeling alone and feeling empowered.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that community was a big part of her success.
Yeah, for sure. But let's not forget about the bigger picture here. Remember how she talked about wanting to make a difference?
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Was it just about building a successful business, or was there something more driving her?
Well, she talks about how this new model allows her to share her knowledge and expertise with other people,
Okay.
to empower them to create their own online businesses and achieve financial freedom.
So it's not just about making money for herself, it's about creating opportunities for others.
Yeah, exactly. It's like paying it forward.
I like that. Did she give any specific examples of how she's helping people?
Yeah, she mentions offering scholarships to her online courses,
Wow.
providing free resources and training materials on her website, and even mentoring aspiring entrepreneurs within the community.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's like she's using her success to lift other people up.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder how she went from feeling stuck in her corporate job to becoming this empowering figure for others.
Right. What was the turning point?
Well, she points to that 9-week period after her company got sold.
Oh, yeah. That limbo time.
Yeah, she describes it as a time of intense self-reflection
Mm-hmm.
where she had a chance to really think about what she wanted out of life.
So it's like being forced out of her comfort zone actually helped her tap into her true potential.
Yeah, it's like that saying, sometimes when one door closes, another one opens.
Totally. And it sounds like that new door led her to a path that's way more fulfilling.
And not just fulfilling, but aligned with her values.
Mm-hmm.
She talks about the joy she gets from helping other people achieve financial independence
Yeah.
and break free from the 9-to-5 grind to design lives that they love.
That's amazing. So it's like she found her purpose.
Yeah, exactly. That thing that gets her excited to wake up every morning.
And it all started because her company got sold.
It's crazy how life works sometimes, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
But remember how she was initially hesitant about creating videos?
Oh, yeah, she was terrified.
But she pushed through that fear, and now she's rocking it.
Yeah, and she credits that community for helping her get better.
Okay, so what did they do? Did they give her, like, secret tips and tricks?
Well, she mentions attending workshops on video editing,
Oh.
getting feedback from experienced creators, and even participating in group challenges where they all had to create videos on specific topics.
So it's like having a built-in support system to help her overcome her fear and develop her skills.
Exactly. And it just goes to show you how much you can achieve when you have the right people in your corner.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious about the financial side of things. Did she ever talk numbers? Or was it all just that CEO of her own PTO vibe?
She doesn't reveal exact figures,
Okay.
but she does say that she's on track to hit 7 figures within the next 3 years.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, and she emphasizes that it's not just about the money. It's about the freedom and flexibility it gives her to live life on her own terms.
That's the dream, right?
Totally. Financial abundance and the ability to design a life you love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, what does success look like for her beyond the money? Did she mention any other goals or aspirations?
Oh, yeah. She definitely has big plans.
Like what?
She talks about building a team, expanding her online businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately creating a legacy that goes beyond just herself.
So it's not just about achieving her own goals, it's about making a lasting impact.
Yeah, and she even mentions writing a book or starting a podcast to share her story and inspire others.
That's awesome.
That's-
It's like she wants to pay it forward on a larger scale.
Yeah, it's pretty inspiring.
Totally. But you know what really stands out to me about her whole story?
What's that? It's how she doesn't shy away from the emotional side of things.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like she talks about the self-doubt, the fear of failure, the
Mhm.
moments when she wanted to just give up.
I think it's important to hear that
Hmm.
because it makes her success feel more real.
Relatable. Like it shows that even the most successful people go through tough times.
Exactly. And it's not just about pushing through those tough times.
Mhm.
It's about having that support system to help you through it.
Yeah, she really emphasizes how important that community was for her.
Yeah, they gave her a safe space to be vulnerable,
To ask for help.
to celebrate her wins.
Yeah, it's like they helped her stay motivated and focused even when things got hard.
Exactly. And it highlights how important it is to find your tribe
The people who get you,
who support you.
who inspire you to keep going.
Yeah, and it makes you realize that success isn't just about what you achieve.
Mm-hmm.
It's also about who you become along the way.
I like that.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest takeaway from all of this?
Well, for me, it's how she seamlessly blends the practical stuff of building a business
Yeah.
with the personal growth that comes with it.
It's like she's not just giving us tips and tricks.
Right.
She's also sharing her own journey of transformation. Exactly. And it makes you realize that entrepreneurship can be this incredible catalyst for self-discovery,
For pushing your boundaries.
for becoming the best version of yourself.
And it all started with a YouTube video.
It's amazing how much we can learn from other people's stories
Right. Their experiences can spark our own imaginations.
and inspire us to go after our dreams.
It's a reminder that we all have a story to tell,
And that sharing those stories can have a ripple effect
inspiring others to take action.
to create their own success.
And what's so powerful about this woman's story is that it goes beyond just achieving success.
Right. It's about using that success to make a difference,
To empower others.
to leave a positive impact on the world.
And that's what makes this deep dive so inspiring.
It's not just about learning business strategies,
It's about tapping into our own potential
believing in ourselves.
and using our talents to create a life that we love.
It's a reminder that we're all capable of amazing things,
When we're willing to step outside our comfort zones
to embrace the challenges.
and to never give up on our dreams. It's a powerful message.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that anyone who's ever thought about entrepreneurship can relate to.
That desire to create something meaningful,
To be your own boss.
to live a life on your own terms.
And as we wrap up this deep dive,
Mhm.
I think it's important to remember that this is just one person's journey
Right. There are countless others out there,
who are creating their own paths to success.
each with their own unique stories and insights.
And it's a reminder that the world of online business is vast and constantly changing.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
But what we can learn from stories like this is that it's about finding what works for you
Aligning your work with your values.
and never giving up on your dreams.
And as we leave you with this inspiring story,
Mm-hmm.
we encourage you to think about your own aspirations.
What are you passionate about?
What impact do you want to make on the world?
And what's one small step you can take today to move closer to those dreams?
It doesn't have to be anything huge.
It could be as simple as researching a new skill,
Connecting with someone in your field.
or even just taking a few minutes to
Yeah.
visualize the life you want.
Because every journey starts with a single step.
And who knows, maybe your story will be the next one we feature on the deep dive.
Inspiring others with your own unique path to success.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep. You know, it's wild how we started talking dropshipping, and now
No, right?
it's like this whole story of personal transformation.
Totally. It's like she took this business model and turned it into a way to like reinvent herself.
Yeah, and it's so relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, haven't we all felt stuck at some point,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
wondering if there's more to life?
Absolutely.
But she actually did something about it.
She did. And she
Oh.
did it in a really smart way.
Yeah, she didn't just like magically become successful.
Right.
She put in the work,
She learned new things.
built a network.
And she wasn't afraid to get uncomfortable.
That's so key.
It is. It's like
Yeah.
that's where the real growth happens.
And that do it scared thing,
Oh, yeah.
that's like a mantra for life.
Totally. It's
Yeah.
like fear is usually a sign that you're on the right track.
That you're pushing yourself.
Exactly. And the
Yeah.
more you do it, the easier it gets.
But she didn't just keep all that growth to herself.
Nope.
Remember how she talked about helping others,
Mm-hmm.
empowering them to be financially free?
Yeah. It's like she wanted to use her success to make a difference.
Totally. That's what I find so inspiring.
It's a really cool shift that's happening in the entrepreneurial world.
What do you mean?
It's like less about the hustle and grind and more about purpose.
Okay.
Building a business that aligns with your values.
Yeah, and that you can feel good about.
Exactly. And remember how important community was for her?
Oh yeah, she couldn't stop talking about it.
I know. It's like it wasn't just about finding courses or mentors.
Right.
It was about connecting with people who understood her struggles,
Who celebrated her wins.
who had her back when things got tough.
It's like that feeling of belonging.
Yeah, like you're not alone in this.
Exactly. And that can make all the difference.
It really can. So what do you think people should take away from this deep dive?
I think it's more than just learning about drop shipping or digital real estate.
Okay.
It's about understanding the mindset,
The strategies.
the importance of community.
Yeah. Those are the things that can help you succeed no matter what business you're in.
Exactly. So as we wrap things up here,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with this.
Okay.
What's one tiny thing you can do today to get closer to your dreams?
Doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Maybe it's looking into a new skill,
Or reaching out to someone you admire,
or just picturing what you want your life to look like.
because every journey starts somewhere.
And maybe someday we'll be featuring your story,
On the deep dive.
inspiring others with your own path to success.
So keep learning
Keep growing.
and keep diving deep.
In this episode of Deep Dive, the hosts discuss the Legacy Builders Program as a great and accessible option for anyone looking to start an online business in the e-learning industry. Whether you're young, a family looking to earn extra money, or even a retired person wanting a new challenge and some additional income, this program could be for you. If this sounds interesting, I encourage you to check it out. You can sign up and get immediate access to the blueprint. It's completely free, so why not give it a try? Please see the link below in the description.